Yes. So I found the enzymes watching, can't remember his name. He's a spiritual guy on YouTube, and I've been watching him for years.
Josh
Mr.
Mason?
Astrology. Huh?
Oh, Josh, I was gonna
You know
say
him?
Josh Mason.
Oh, no, I don't know him. But he used it and then he became what's the word, distributor or
Affiliate?
affiliate. That's where he became affiliate. So as soon as he said it worked for him, I started doing research into it and started looking at other people and probably watch about like 7 to 10 videos of people trying it. I'm actually watching them do it and then show me their fecal matter. Because I'm a person like once I find something, I go all the way in and do my own research. And so everybody I found had, like you said, this spiritual experience. And depending on where they are in their spiritual journey, how much it awoken them physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all those type of things. And so when I did that, I was actually in a hotel because our house we rented in Houston, Texas, we moved down there in August of 21 and unknowingly moved into a flood. So a pipe behind the refrigerator was broken, and the water literally went underneath the flooring and just piled up underneath the house until there was no room. And then finally came up 4 months later, right in front of the fridge. And we couldn't figure out where the water's coming from forever. Like, where's this water? And then I eventually put my hand on the ground and it was hot, and then I took my shoes off and started walking around the. There's a nice, pretty winding staircase that's the center of the house, and you can walk all the way around it: living room, dining room, kitchen, foyer, and literally 70% of that whole circle was hot water. And so all the water is literally just sitting right underneath us. And before that, I passed out. My wife was falling down the stairs. Um, Hair loss, itching, scratching, all these things. We're like, what's going on? And then we found the flood and everything to start connecting dots. And so I think it was about springtime that we got out the house and start living in a hotel. And then I start looking for modalities to help us get the toxins out of our body. And that's when I found the video. And in a hotel, literally, I start doing the protocol. And Um, I was actually studying Michael Jordan in the Chicago Bulls. I'm all about greatness. And so I was studying what they would do in order to reach their greatness. And I was watching some videos, and some people said, well, I can't stand the taste. And for me, it's like mind over matter. Like, if you want something to help you, I could care less what it tastes like. And so I literally just told my mind, like, this is going to help us. So we're going to eat this and we're going to drink it. And that's what I did. I actually recorded too. I just haven't, we have a podcast, the Just Be podcast, and I haven't put the videos up there yet. But every time I did a drink, I would talk on the video for like a minute or so and talk about what I was feeling. And then I took some pictures of my fecal matter. And sure enough, the next day it was this plastic stuff, just like the videos I watched. This plastic stuff came out, and it was not what we think be coming out of our bodies. It's literally plastic that your body can't break down, and it's literally just piling up in your body. When I did, I was 35 years old, so I could imagine if I was older and didn't eat very healthy, what would all be in my body. And so after I start taking it, I literally start feeling lighter. I found out this is years ago, but it's a very good point. I found out years ago I was in acting school, and I found out that I had a son, but he wasn't mine. He was 2 months old. And then in acting school, my teacher had me replay that situation when I found out he wasn't mine. And my acting teacher stopped me in the middle of it, and she's like, "You're not even in it. What's going on here?" She's like, "Oh, I got it. What's his name?" And I was like, "Emery John." And as soon as I said Emery, like all this emotion just came. And I start crying and literally just felt this huge weight lift off my shoulders. And that's the exact same feeling I had once I start going through the process and getting all the stuff out of my body, just this weight and toxicity out of my body. And I just felt like, whoa, this is a version of Emery that I didn't even know about, that I forgot because it's been so long. You ever heard new normal? You would get used to this new normal for so long being in toxins, Wi-Fi, cell phone, food, paint, mold, like everything's in our body hurting us. And once we get it out via the enzymes, it just felt amazing spiritually, physically. We were swimming every day, and literally after I got done and went out and got in the sun, it amplified the healing process. So I felt even better. So I got out in the sun, started sweating out my pores, and I just felt better and better and better. And I wasn't as sensitive to the mold as much as I was before.
involved in cleansing, but how would you say your enzyme experience differed from like any other types of cleansing or healing modalities that you've tried before?
It was more complete. It was a whole system, and it was very simple. If you can read and follow these directions, there's nothing to it. There's no tricks or anything. It's not magic. It's straight science math. You do this, it's gonna get the stuff out your body. You might have to do it again, or you might need to go. Like I did the general one you're supposed to do first, and once I get the finances, I'm gonna go get the liver because I've been having liver pain since I was in that house. And we went from that house to a Airbnb or a hotel room that had mold too, because our the way we set up our housing right now is asinine. That doesn't make any sense at all. You would never make a house out of cheese when you live around rats, and that's exactly what we did. And that's why we have so much mold. Half the buildings, this is old stat too, half the buildings in America are sick buildings, meaning they have mold and toxins in them. And so imagine how many hotel rooms have mold in because the shower literally has a painted wall right next to it. So as soon as that water hits that painted wall, 48 hours, you don't dry it up, you're going to have mold. And I literally went to one hotel room. So we got kicked out of one hotel because I told them there was mold in there and they didn't want to fix it. So they're like, you guys just need to leave. Um, so we only had 4 hours to, and we were all inflamed and sick. Two children, two dogs, my wife, and four kittens and a mama cat. So we had to two carloads of stuff, all these people and animals. And we weren't able to get a look at the reviews because usually what we do is look at reviews and see what they say about the hotel to make sure we get in a clean one. So we didn't have time for that. And we got a hotel that was really, really bad with mold. And I literally took a shower. And as soon as I got out the shower, I was like, babe, call 911 because I can't breathe. And they got there just before I was losing consciousness because I was so inflamed. And this was after I took the detox. So I could imagine if I never took that detox, what I don't think I'd be here today. So I got much gratitude for the enzymes. They help. And before I took the enzymes, I was in so much pain I couldn't sleep, and I started doing enemas with CDS, chlorine dioxide systems, and so that helped my body a lot. And then I found the enzymes, and I did that, and it kind of just took me to the next level of being a whole lot healthier. I'm so grateful for the enzymes, and I became what's the word that you said before?
Affiliate.
Yeah, I became affiliate. I haven't we've been homeless since April, been living in hotels. Now we're living at my cousin's house. And we're actually in Airbnb because she's getting her floor redone. And so we haven't been stable at all. We're actually living in on a king size mattress with a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and we just had our baby on the 28th. So we got 3 children, 2 adults living in a small office room with the mattress because we lost everything in the mold house. Credit scores, got a truck repossessed. My wife has had a stroke. She has a cancerous mass in her brain. We've been doing RSO, Rick Simpson oil for her, and it literally stopped the mass from growing. And the doctors were using fair tactics to get her to basically remove the mass, and they had no idea like what the mass is. And I do my own research, so I found out that most likely, if you follow the pattern, it's not the tumor, the type of tumor that I think it is. It's really just a mold mass that grows in your brain when you have too much mold exposure. And so my wife started doing some studying too, and she found on an NH website that the black mold masses, when you remove them, they just grow right back because most people don't have any idea that that's just a symptom of you being in this environment. And so when you take the mass out and you go back home or to work or to school, in your instance, school, it's just going to grow back again. And so people get it taken out and then your mood system's down because you just did all that surgery and you took all these drugs. And so, boom, it grows back twice as fast, 3 times as fast. And usually that person passes away quickly. And so we decided to do Rick Simpson oil, and they start doing her, I forgot what test they're doing on her scan on her brain, MRI, and they found out that the mass is not growing. And the doctor said, based off his experience, this type of mass that he thinks it is should be growing 1% a week, a day, a week, something like that. And it hasn't grown at all. And so I'm so glad that we listened to our heart and follow our instincts rather than listen to doctors, because my wife wouldn't be here today, nor my baby, if we would have did what they wanted us to do.
You're supposed to feel. Was there like a specific moment or several moments that you had sort of an aha, like this is different?
I would say when I got out in the sun, and was sitting in the pool, and the sun hit me, and I started sweating, and more toxins start coming out, and I just had gratitude. That was one feeling I got, was just an immense gratitude and joy that just came over me. It wasn't like I was looking for it; it just like came from within and then start going out. And I was like, wow, this is my normal. This is the real normal. And it felt amazing. It feels amazing because I can still feel it, even though we've been in more mold environments. I'm excited to get the liver one going because my liver has some opportunities for sure. And we are birds of a feather because because of our experience, we're starting a mold blessings network where we help people who experience not only mold but toxins, because I found that mold is just a toxin. We can not even focus on mold. It's just a toxin, and toxin is this thing that just attacks your body. It's not a natural organic thing. And so once I start learning about that, and then I start doing some research, I found that cancer cannot live in an oxygenated state, and neither can toxins, which are basically the same thing. And so my purpose for being here on this planet is to be the change and spread that truth about all we need to do is oxygenate our bodies. And the amount of oxygen that's on this planet is about half of what it used to be. The reason they know that is because they start studying some what's it called, stuff that comes off a tree, and it crystallizes. The bugs eat it, and it actually stops the tree from getting mold on it. That the real sticky stuff that comes off of a tree.
Oh,
So
sap.
sap, there you go. So they had sap that was really, really, really old, and it had air in it, and they tested it and had twice as much oxygen, which makes sense because the animals are way bigger, the trees are way bigger, and once you get less and less oxygen, everything's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and less healthier. And we're literally the first generation who's supposed to die younger than their parents did, and that's based off all the toxins and lack of oxygen. And so it's really simple. All we have to do is oxygenate our environment and our bodies, and we will become healthier over time. And then we need to eliminate the toxins. So we do those two things, we're going to amplify the healing process for everybody on this beautiful plane. And that's
I'm
what I'm here to
really
do.
that
I'm glad you use
feeling.
that word because empty is like perfect. It's literally an oxymoron. It's like, how can you feel empty and full at the same time? It's because you're kind of comparing it to the way you used to feel. So like, okay, I kind of feel empty, but then you're like, well, this new feeling actually feels full too because I'm empty of the toxins, but I'm full of the light, the love light that the universe is now bringing to us. I totally agree with you on that one. The amazing feeling of joy. Um, the feeling of joy that I get when I'm in the frequency that we're talking about is amazing, and that's the frequency that I choose to share with other people. And that's what we're here to do, is to feel. And we've been numbed for a long time. We've been numbed by so many different elements, so many different factors, inside, outside, up, down, left, right. And now we're going to unify this. So I named my daughter Truth I Am Butterfly Rainbow Bridge. And truth I am is what we all are. So the reason I put I am in there is because when you say her name, you're talking about yourself. A lot of people think you're just saying the person's name, but you're actually talking about yourself too. That's it. I'm in a meeting. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, don't come back in, please. So truth I am is what we all are. And then butterfly is a process that we're going through right now. We're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So we got to release all the old stuff in order to become the butterfly. And then the rainbow bridge is what we all get to cross, this beautiful thing. And the Hopi prophecies, the light warriors, rainbow warriors, and that's all the souls who chose to incarnate at this time. That's what we all are. And we're slowly waking up. And as we wake up, we all become lights in our own. And then one light awakens another light. And then it just becomes an amplification process of love light. And I'm so grateful that I was allowed and chose to come here now. And it's the most beautiful time to be on this plane. I'm so grateful to be the
Yeah.
change. Releasing right now, so separation, we're coming back into unity. And you talked about remembering, and literally I wrote a book, and it's called Remembering Me, I Am.
Ooh.
And Nikola Tesla, I got a quote in there, and he really helped me understand how reality works. Now, I meditated on it forever, over and over and over again. I was like, what do you mean if you understand how the universe works? Think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. And once I just start meditating on that, all the information literally start coming to me like a magnet, like you're talking about. I start attracting it. And when I start writing, so I wrote quotes and then I turned those quotes into a book. And the book is all about self-reflection. The book is a mirror. And so as you grow, you get to write basically how your day was uh, every day for 26 weeks. You write down. So let's say one of the quotes is hold on tightly, let go lightly. And for me, that would be we've moved probably about 75, 100 times from hotel motel, getting into a moldy one. Literally, we've been in 3 hotels in the same night, probably about 5 or 6 times because it was so moldy. One, it's like, oh, can't do that one. Go to another one. Oh, your wife has to have her ID. And it's like my wife's ID was taken when she went to the ER. It got misplaced, so she didn't have it anymore. So it's like, well, I can't go to a hotel. And there's just over and over again all these different things. And I was like, well, hold on tightly, let go lightly, stay in the moment, find your gratitude. And the frequency that you're talking about is everything. Once you can realize that everything you're experiencing is your creation because the creator and the creation are one, you no longer feel like a victim. And then you can have gratitude and say, oh, this situation is helping me remember more of who I am. It's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. Once you change the way you look at it, the thing you look at changes and turns from a negative thing into a positive, and then you get to grow and become more of what you are. And then you get to do like Michael Jackson said in The Man in the Mirror, you get to be that change that you want other people to be. And that's exactly like you're talking about earlier, what this mission is like. First, you got to wake up and remember who you are. And then as you start taking on that journey, you get to have other people in that same area you're working on. It's like, oh yeah, this is helping me. Why don't you try it and see how it helps you? And for me, the truth is that medicine that we're all going to get to take because the truth has been suppressed for so very long on this plane, and that suppression is now being lifted. And in the Bible, it's called the apocalypse, and that simply means that the unveiling. There's no negative or positive. It's just straight information, like a computer. When you type in the E or D, the computer's not like, well, nope, I don't like it because you're black. Nope, I don't like it because you're Republican. Nope, I don't like it because you're gay. I don't like no. The computer says, thank you. You hit a D, I'm going to put a D on the screen. And that's what we're about to experience now. The truth is going to come out, the great unveiling, and then people get to choose what they want to do with that truth. And depending on your frequency, it's going to show you what you see. So if you still think there's monsters out there because you're a monster on the inside, when that belt comes down, you're going to see monsters. If you're healed on the inside and you're willing to give love to any person that's still in the illusion, then you're going to get to help heal, and people are going to call you an angel. And so now you get to choose. Do you want to be the demon or do you want to be an angel? And I just want everybody to know that we're all the same thing, no matter what somebody's frequency they're choosing experience at the time. Choosing experience at the time, we're all one. There's only one, and we are simply experiencing the multitude of all the different variations of experiences we can create. And that's what this whole thing is, just a beautiful creation. Once we stop judging it and just say, hey, have fun with your creation because you created it. For instance, when you watched Aladdin as a kid, you never saw the genie say, like, take a wish and then create it. And it's like, well, oh, I don't like that creation. That's a bad creation. It's like, oh, it's you. You just created. That's your creation. Why are you judging your own creation? That's you. Like when you make a baby, that's your creation. And as you grow within, your baby's going to grow too. And the Bible says your children shall suffer iniquities. If you don't have any iniquities to pass on, if you're healed, guess what you're going to pass on? Love, light. And then your child's going to pass on love, light to the next one. So then when you come back incarnate to that lineage, that DNA, it's going to be so much love, light. You're going to be like, wow, I'm so grateful that I started creating what I wanted so many lifetimes ago. And now I come back in. Now I get to experience more love, light.